overall, we talked earlier about how this is going to be like a 3 to maybe even a 6 month program that we're kind of diving into. So what does the overall skeleton of this thing look like?
Okay, so the overall skeleton, like I said earlier, gymnastics, and I know you guys have heard me say it too, but gymnastics is based on those basic body shapes, your hollow and your arch and a straight body, and really you want to be able to hold those things for a long amount of time without breaking shape before you start adding any movement to it. So like when you're looking at chest to bar pull-ups or muscle-ups or handstands, you're going to hit those basic body shapes. So if you can't hold those basic body shapes, there's no way that you're going to be able to make your body do it while in motion and do it perfectly. And and hitting those shapes is going to make you move easier. It's going to be less taxing on your body. You're going to be able to use your body in the swing more than your muscles. And so that's the goal, is to really get those basic body shapes down so that when you do get to the chest to bar pull-ups, it's easier and you won't be hurting yourself because you're not straining your body. You're just using your body to help you. So we're starting with basic body shapes. And then
I don't want to interrupt you, but when you say basic body shapes, what are you talking about?
So I'm talking about the hollow and the arch and the straight body. So
okay. And that was the hell that you put us through today.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Just for that little, and that's the thing is like, a lot of this stuff is going to be new, and at first it might not be fun, and it's going to feel really awkward, and you might feel like a seal on a rock or something.
Yep.
But it's gonna be awkward at first, and that's totally fine. That's how we all start out, and
but I mean, it was awkward for about 30 seconds, right?
And then get over
just
it.
A few quick cues.
Right?
It was you kind of started to see like, oh, okay, this is how you want me to move, and this is what I'm after, and then it actually became fun because it started to make more sense.
Yes.
And I started to move more correctly, which made me want to progress to the next step. So
awesome. See, and that's what I want. So there you go. You heard it from Wes right there. He felt awkward at first, and then he became a professional. But
total professional. I'm ready to go. Here we go.
So, even less feels that way. So go ahead.
So starting off, we're going to be covering just the shapes.
Yes.
Hollow body, arch, and straight body.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
And so for that first week, we're going to go over those shapes, make sure that you know exactly what we're looking for, the body positions, how your ribs are supposed to feel, how your hips are supposed to feel, what's supposed to be squeezing, that kind of stuff. Once we can go ahead and get that down, then we'll add some motion to it and stuff like that. And then after that, we'll go ahead and progress to a new segment. We'll be working on handstand work, a little bit more tumbling work, how to get into that handstand and be comfortable. I think that's really important as a gymnast, but more importantly, how to get out of it safely, because I know a lot of people are held back because they're so afraid of like, what the heck do I do if I start tipping over? Mm-hmm. And so we're going to go over like how you get out of a handstand safely. And I hope that that's going to help you guys feel more comfortable. And honestly, with being upside down, like it's so awkward because how often are we upside down? Like never, So the more we do it, then the more comfortable we're going to get. Of course, there's going to be progressions that we're going to go through to get there. And I'm going to make sure, and the coaches are going to make sure that you guys are all, number one, safe. You're doing it right in the right body positions, and that there's progressions leading up to it. We're not just going to be like, hey, go upside down and hang out there and now come out of it. So we're going to take the correct steps in order to get there, and that will transfer over to your handstand push-ups and handstand walking. And I know last year, they had the handstand push-ups for the first time in the open. So I'm hoping that, going over this stuff a little bit earlier on, that we're going to get a couple more people those handstand push-ups for the open workouts.
Awesome. So we've got just going over the shapes of each movement. So the hollow body, the arch, the straight body, which will eventually transfer over to our pull-ups and our chest to bar pull-ups and learning that kip and kip swing, correct? And then we'll eventually go, and then after that, we're going to go into our handstands. But first we start with how to properly fall, right? Out of a handstand, how to tumble, etc. And then slowly working up and just getting people upside down. And then from there, where are we going to go?
From there, like what I said earlier, we're going to be doing the chest to bar pull-ups. And that's really when you're going to see, or the pull-ups just in general, that's when you're really kipping pull-ups going to see the hollow and the arch shapes. Now you're taking it from a static hold to movement, and you're doing it on a bar. So that's going to be the next progression from that hollow and that arch, and putting it on the bar, putting it into movement, getting those pull-ups, connecting them together, helping them become fluid. And then after that, we're going to take it to the rings.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap. Yes, the rings. I know. And rings, I can honestly say, like, I was a female gymnast, so I didn't play on the rings, a lot. But I know a couple things about rings, and I have some great male gymnasts over at my gym. They're actually the gymnastics company that I work for. We have one of the best guy programs here in the area. So I know I watch the guys all the time, and I'm in there with a guy coach there, Ken, and I would ask him before on muscle ups and back up rises and stuff. So I've learned a couple things about them, and we're going to go into those ring dips and then transferring that to the ring muscle up, and then also bar muscle ups too, because you don't know. Maybe I always cross my fingers and hope they're going to throw that in there for the
me
open.
Too.
But,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And what really forgot to side rail us a little bit, but what gymnastics gym do you work at?
I work for California Sports Center. We actually have like 7 different gyms all in the San Jose area. The one closest to here is Morgan Hill.
Oh, okay. So Morgan Hill. That's awesome.
Yeah, so not that far from here. The one that I work for, they're called Great Oaks. Really great company, really great people. Actually, the one that I work for, we just expanded our gym, and we have this amazing new in-ground pit with these in-ground trampolines and everything. So if you guys have any kids, come and bring them by.
Do you guys have adult gymnastics classes there? Or?
We actually do not.
Okay.
Sorry.
Is that something maybe in the future?
Possibly. It's more of an insurance thing than anything else.
I heard that. When we were at Power Monkey Camp, they were talking. There was a guy there that owned a gym, and he was saying that that's the hardest thing in the world. Is insurance companies won't let. If you're over 18, basically, like you're not coming in there because there's just too many like ACL tears and people blowing out shoulders and all sorts of stuff. And adults are stupid. And so they get on a trampoline and they want to do.
Oh, totally. Totally. Or they're up on the beams, and before you know it, they're splitting the beams. Totally seen a parent do that before.
Oh, shit.
A dad,
Oh, man. Okay, so they can't go there. So the next best thing is that we have Brittany here for you guys, and we're doing this here for you guys. So.
Yes.
Awesome. Very cool. Okay, so we're moving into the ring stuff, and eventually get you guys ring muscles. But you can see that that's an overall framework of what we got going for you guys. Cool, Brittany. I could do hollow body. I could do arch. I could do straight body. I've got my handstands. I understand the difference between flexion and extension in my spine. If I tell you to be straight, I know what that means. That's all great and dandy, but I've got tons of chest to bar pull-ups. I've got tons of pull-ups. I just want to get strong. This doesn't mean anything to me. How does this transfer over to weightlifting?
Perfect. So, sorry, Wes, going to use you as an example.
Oh, shit.
And Wes called himself out on this, and I had noticed it before, too. But also, like, those basic body shaping and understanding your core and what it feels like to have your ribs in and your hips tucked under totally transfers over to weightlifting. And I think, like I said earlier, for myself, doing weightlifting too now, I think I've been able to progress a little bit quicker in weightlifting because I understand my body, and when you hit those jerks, you have to be in a tight shape. You have to have your ribs in and your hips tucked under so you are stable. And I know that's one thing that Wes has been working on. I know I've seen it before. Wes loves to stick his ribs out so far on his jerks, especially those push jerks. And
so you mean my lower back isn't supposed to hurt after a bunch of push jerks and split jerks?
No, totally not.
Okay.
No.
And it's because I'm in a bad position that my lower back is actually hurting.
Yes, totally.
Okay.
If you're doing those push jerks and those jerks and you're landing in that arch position with your hips so far out and your ribs so far out, that's going to take a toll on your body and on your lower back. And so when we're able to get those ribs and those hips aligned together, our back is going to be much more stable and it's going to take less beating for sure.
Got it. And what is that position exactly that you're talking about with the ribs down and the hips under?
So that's going to be your straight body and your hollow body.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there it
so
is.
now we're pulling it all back around. Okay, got it. So this is the basics of week 1 that we're going to go over with you guys and all the coaches is those body positions, the hollow body, the arch, the straight body, and that's going to transfer over to my weightlifting.
Oh, totally. Completely.
Cool. So I'm going to be able to put more weight over my head because I know what a hollow body and arch position is.
Yes, and you're going to be much stronger for sure.
Got it.
Sure.
Yeah, Brittany had us doing some of these positions today and was talking about how to squeeze the butt to suck the hips under, and then also the fact that you have to use the lower abs a lot as well in order to stay in the hollow body position. And you can immediately transfer that over to a standing position with your arms overhead and understand how that would be a solid position with weight overhead, whether that's a clean and jerk or a snatch. Doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
completely.
or a push press or press or anything that we do in CrossFit.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Cool. Awesome. So for all you guys out there that are like, oh, God, here we go, gymnastics time. Like, this is not what I want to do. I just want to be able to lift heavy weights and get super swole. This will help you lift heavy weights and get super swole.
Oh, yeah.
Boom. Awesome. Cool. So the overall framework, we're going to start with basic shapes, moving from there into pull-ups, from there how to fall out of a handstand, how to get upside down, feeling comfortable upside down. Ideally, you should be as comfortable on your hands as you are on your feet, correct?
Oh, yeah.
That's like the mastery of this whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So obviously people may never get there, but that's the overall goal. And then from there, we start to move towards the rings and getting you guys ring dips and muscle ups, bar muscle ups as well with all of that. So you guys can see how this framework may last quite some time, but we're going to be starting it in November. Obviously, that stuff is going to transfer over to you guys weightlifting too, so don't take advantage of it or take advantage of it and don't skip out on those days. Now, let's look at week 1.
Yes.
So week 1 and the details of week 1 and what that's going to look like. We're going to be starting this stuff on November 2nd, which is going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is when we're going to be doing these gymnastics skills. Hopefully we don't see a decline in class overall class size on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We should see an incline of class size on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But November 2nd, week 1, give us just a basic idea of what we would see in week 1, Britt.
Yeah, so like Wes said, this is something that we're going to be putting into like our warm-ups on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Monday, we're going to be going over those basic shapes and just really trying to perfect them. And so when I say hollow body position, you guys can just go right into it right away in those correct positions. So we're just going to be going over them. And then Wednesday, we'll kind of go ahead, add a little bit of movement to it, play little games. Thursday, we're adding those rocks to it. So I would say whenever we're doing these shapes, you want to be able to hold these shapes. I would love you guys to be able to do it for like a minute without breaking shape. I know.
We did this for 10 seconds today, and I was shaking like a shivering dog that just got out of the bath.
Yeah. Well, did you remember to breathe? It's important to breathe.
No, I forgot completely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good note right there. Make sure when you're doing this stuff, guys, that you're breathing. So we're going to be holding these shapes. Like I said, you want to hold them for like,
just so you guys know, Megan's writing on the whiteboard right now. Do you want in and out 2 double-doubles? Question mark. And poor Brittany's here is trying to make weight for her weightlifting competition tomorrow, and she saw that on the board, and I saw one tear come from the corner of her eye down.
I want in and out so bad.
Oh, man.
And pizza. Sorry.
Tomorrow, in between lifts.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, so going back to the holding those positions and breathing.
Yes, holding your positions, but please make sure that you're breathing because I don't want anyone passing out. But it's important to know to breathe in a basic hold because, like I said, once you get upside down and you're holding those positions upside down, you're going to feel really awkward at first. You're going to be freaking out. You got to breathe. You got to relax. You got to, stay as calm as possible. So that's a perfect way to practice them is holding those shapes, starting it from the beginning. And though we don't get very much time in class, we got to get you guys warmed up. Then we got to go over the movements for the workout. When we start the workout, we try to get you guys a little stretched after. And then before you know it, the hour's over. So please, please, please do these shapes at home. Like if practice. You could do, if practice. And like, I'm not talking about practice your pull-ups. I'm just talking about practicing
the hollow body,
the hollow body. Yeah, the hollow and arch. That is going to help you out tremendously. Like if you do anything at home, that's what my suggestion is to you, is to work those at home.
So help us help you guys with these positions. So when you guys come in, I mean, obviously it'll take a little bit of kind of laying the framework, I guess you could say, at first. But the goal is from there, you guys, when we ask you to get into a hollow body, we ask you to do an arch, you guys can accomplish that pretty quickly and understand what we're talking about as well.
Yeah, definitely. So that's the first week, and we'll add a little bit of movement into it later on for those who are ready to move up to that next level. And don't freak out if you're not ready for it yet, because like I said, it takes time. And girls, they start and they do these shapes for years before we add movement and start putting it into skills. So it's going to take time. Don't be frustrated. We're just doing this to help you guys out.